Imagine for a moment that you are the luckiest person in the world. That would be a pretty good life, right? Well, that life doesn't happen by chance, and it's not reserved for the select few. That life is a response to your assumptions. Every event, every opportunity, every chance encounter unfolds in harmony with what you are assuming to be true about yourself and about the world around you. The world isn't some chaotic, indifferent machine. It's a mirror reflecting back the assumptions you carry in silence. And those assumptions are completely personal, individual, and simply put, your choice. You can either choose them unconsciously or, as I'd highly recommend, consciously. Listen closely because I want you to let my words really sink in, not just listen to this and intellectually agree and then have no idea how to apply these concepts. For these concepts to be of any benefit to you, you have to do more than hear them, and you have to do more than just know them. You have to know how to actually apply them to your life if you want them to be useful to you at all in your life. And lucky for you, that's what I'm here to help you do. If you're new here, hello, I am your muse Tracy, and what I'm about to share with you will change everything about how you move in your reality and, of course, how you manifest. Because once you understand this, once you really get it, there's no going back. To act as if you are the luckiest person in the world is not about pretending. It's not about faking. It's about entering the secret place within you where reality actually begins. Not in the outside world, but in your own imagination. Luck, to most people in the world, is random. Some people are, some people aren't. But what luck actually is the evidence of alignment between the inner belief and the outer experience. Have you ever noticed how some people always seem to be at the right place at just the right time? Doors open for them, opportunities flow effortlessly into their lives. They find solutions before other people would even know that there's a problem. And you call them lucky. But if you looked closely, you'd see they expect these good things. They carry an unshakable belief that life bends in their favor and that things just work out for them somehow. And that expectation, that silent and visible force of belief, is what creates what we call luck. Not an accident and definitely not coincidence. There are no coincidences. It's actually the law of assumption in action right before your eyes. So, what happens when you begin to live like this? When you wake up in the morning with a smile, not because what you see around you, but because of what you've already claimed within. Well, what happens is you walk differently, you speak with confidence, you no longer react to the appearances of your reality. You carry yourself like someone who knows, really knows that everything is always working out for you, even when it might seem to be falling apart. You no longer beg the world to notice your worth. You assume your place as worthy and as chosen. You no longer fear the future. You welcome it, knowing it must reflect the inner atmosphere and claims that you've already created. To act as if you are the luckiest person in the world is to assume that nothing is out of place, that even your delays are divine and purposeful, that life is always conspiring in your favor. Though you may not see the hand moving behind the curtain, you don't actually need to. You begin to look at closed doors not as defeat, but as protection, and guidance. You don't just wish for good things, you claim them, you prepare for them, you give thanks for them before they arrive and before there's any evidence of them in your 3D reality. Your attitude becomes your secret weapon. You no longer wait for blessings to show up to say thank you. You start with saying thank you. You start by giving thanks, knowing that what you appreciate appreciates. Every step you take becomes infused with the power of unseen faith, and life, in turn, cannot help but respond. Circumstances shift, people are drawn to your energy, solutions come from unlikely places, seemingly out of nowhere, not because you forced them, but because you simply expected them. Now, I want you to think about your own life for a moment. Do you expect good things, or are you constantly bracing for the worst case scenario? And just notice, without judgment, without hiding, we have to cultivate this ability to have this unbiased self observation. Neville taught this, taking an honest look at oneself without any judgment or condemnation. It's so crucial in manifesting the life you want. Since manifesting is really the study of getting to know, understand, and love yourself, well, you can see why this might be important to be able to honestly and non judgmentally look at yourself for the purpose of understanding and, of course, choosing again if that's necessary. Because what you're assuming right now is creating your experience. And this is where so many people go wrong. They wait to feel lucky until something lucky happens. But that's not how the law works. Whether we're talking about money, a relationship, your career, the perfect home, a car, whatever it is, you must choose it first. You must feel it first. You must embody it now. You must enter the mood of answered prayer before any evidence shows up. Assume the feeling of being divinely favored, and the world will bend to make it true. You don't need to be born into privilege, and you don't need to live a privileged life. You only need to awaken to your power to choose your assumptions. Right now, this moment, you could begin to walk through this life as if you are the luckiest person in the world, as if everything really is working in your favor, as if every situation is turning in your favor, even if it doesn't look like it yet. That's the power of assumption. That's what it means to act as if you are the luckiest person in the world. Dare to assume what you would prefer to experience before there is any evidence of that experience. Most people have this completely backwards. They're waiting for their circumstances to change before they change their assumption. That's why I said in the beginning, really listen closely to this and learn how to apply it. Otherwise, it does nothing for your life. Most people are saying, show me I'm lucky, and then I'll believe it. But the world doesn't work that way. The world is your mirror. It can only reflect what you already are in consciousness. If you're waiting for the mirror to smile before you smile, you'll be waiting quite a long time. The mirror doesn't move first. You have to move first. Your consciousness is the face standing in front of the mirror. Your 3D reality is the reflection. So if you're standing there with a frown, with doubt, with the belief that you're unlucky, that's what the mirror will show you. More evidence of being unlucky. But the moment you shift, the moment you assume I am the luckiest person alive, the mirror must reflect that back to you. It has no choice. That's the law. The mirror isn't over here choosing what to reflect and what not to reflect. It's a faithful mirror. Neville said the world is yourself pushed out. Not sometimes, not occasionally, but always. Every person you encounter, every situation you experience, every so-called coincidence, there are no coincidences, is shaped by your inner assumptions. I see this with my clients all the time. The ones who stay stuck are the ones waiting for proof before they assume. waiting for something good to happen before they believe they are lucky. And they stay stuck because the mirror is waiting on them, and it shows them more lack and proof that they are waiting for something to happen. So you can never actually be stuck, but you can create the illusion of being stuck. But the ones who shift anyway before the mirror shows the proof, the ones who dare to assume luck, favor, or whatever it is they want to assume before they see any evidence, they're the ones whose entire reality transforms. Not because they got lucky, because they became lucky in their consciousness first. There is a secret place within every human being where the script of life is written, not by fate, not by accident, not by anything external, but by the quiet, often unnoticed power of assumption. To the outside world, life appears to unfold just by chance. But beneath this surface illusion, law of assumption operates with absolute precision. Whatever you assume to be true consistently and with feeling must eventually become your experience. This is not philosophy. This is not positive thinking. This is law of assumption. This is how your reality actually works. To act like you are the luckiest person or anything else you want to assume in the world is to deliberately plant the seed of that assumption into the fertile ground of consciousness and trusting that it must grow into reality. Everything begins in the mind. Long before the world sees it, you must feel it. You do not need proof to assume something as true. So important. Let me say that again. You do not need proof to assume something as true. You only need to accept it in your imagination. And here's the truth. When you accept it as truth, within, your outer world rearranges itself to reflect automatically. The world is not resisting you, it is responding to you. Every event, every person, every so-called coincidence is shaped by the inner tones of your assumptions. If you walk through life assuming lack, you will experience lack. If you carry the belief that others are lucky, but you are not, life will echo that back with precision. But the moment you shift, the moment you begin to dwell in the state of being favored, blessed, divinely lucky, you align with the evidence of that state of being, and life must yield to the new truth that you've already claimed within. It's already doing this, by the way, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. The assumption is not wishful thinking. It is not idle daydreaming. It is the law. It is how this reality works. A declaration of who you now choose to be, even before you have any evidence. When you assume you are lucky, you are not hoping that something good might happen. You are stepping into the reality where it already has. You are declaring within yourself that the good you seek is already yours. This assumption becomes the mold through which life pours itself. You cannot expect water to take shape without a vessel. Likewise, you cannot expect life to deliver what you have not first claimed within. Now ask yourself, what have you been assuming about yourself in silence? When no one is around, when the distractions fade, what do you quietly believe to be true about your destiny? Do you assume that life is against you, that things never work out for you, that others get chosen and you get overlooked, that you have to struggle to survive, that you have to work hard to achieve and to be chosen? These beliefs, even if unspoken, are powerful. They are not mere observations. They are your creative power, and they are constantly forming the outer patterns of your life. But here's the beauty. You can change them. You can revise them. You can begin this very moment to assume something higher, truer, more aligned with your divine truth. You can begin to act as if the stars are aligned for you, as if doors are opening that no one can shut, as if everything you need is already on its way, drawn by the gravity of your own belief. Do not wait for life to show you evidence before you believe. That is the way of the world, but not the way of the awakened. The law is not see and then believe. The law is believe and you shall see. This is the secret known by all who live uncommon and what we would call lucky lives. They do not wait for conditions to be perfect. They create those conditions by assuming them. They walk into rooms as if they already belong there. They approach opportunities as if they're already theirs. They carry a quiet confidence, not rooted in arrogance, but in the inner knowing that they are aligned with something greater than themselves. To assume you are the luckiest person in the world is not to deny reality, it is to reshape it. It is to go beyond appearances and to choose your highest truth. You are not bound by your past. You are not defined by statistics, by circumstances, or the judgment of others. You are defined by what you claim within and only what you claim within. And when you claim your highest truth, when you embody the feeling of being lucky, the world cannot help but follow suit. It is already doing this. The world is clay, and your assumption is the hand that molds it. Every morning you rise is an invitation to create anew. Will you assume the worst out of habit? Will you assume that this brand new day will be much like yesterday and all of your previous days? Or will you dare to assume the best and your highest ideal because you know the power of your assumptions? Will you rehearse old disappointments or will you imagine new beginnings? The choice is truly yours. And the moment you choose differently, the moment you say, I am lucky, I am divinely guided, I am fortunate beyond reason, I am the magnet for miracles, something begins to shift. You won't see it all at once, but slowly and then suddenly, life will start echoing back what you whispered to yourself in silence. I had a client recently who felt very unlucky. She'd say, Tracy, I have the worst luck. Every time I think something good is happening, it falls apart completely. And I said to her, well, that's your assumption. That's what you're claiming, and life is just faithfully reflecting it back to you. And she resisted at first. She wanted to list all the evidence, all the times that things didn't work out, and, just how much this was happening for her. But I said, that evidence is old. That's just yesterday's assumption showing up today again and again. The moment you shift your assumption, the evidence changes, but you can't wait for the evidence. You have to go first. So she really wanted to stop experiencing this, so she committed. Every morning she would say, I am the luckiest person alive. Everything works out for me. I am divinely guided. And this wasn't something she was trying to believe, by the way. This was something that she was choosing as now true for her. She was claiming this as her truth. And within weeks, an opportunity that changed everything for her just appeared without her having to do anything. A job she hadn't even applied for was just offered to her by a friend. A friend referred her to this position. It basically found her. So that's what happens when you shift your state, when you stop waiting for luck and you start assuming it. Things show up that you would have previously called luck, but now you actually know better. And if doubt creeps in when you're trying to implement this, and it probably will, you just simply return to your assumption. When fear knocks, you answer with what you know to be true. Your assumption creates your reality. When the old story returns, you simply rewrite it. Stand guard over your inner world like it's the most precious thing to guard because it is. This is where everything in your life begins. And once the seed of assumption is planted and nurtured with belief, life itself becomes the garden in which it blooms. One of the most powerful ways to maintain this assumption, through all the challenges is by feeling grateful in advance. Most people will wait for these blessings, these, lucky things to show up before they say thank you. They wait for the door to be open before they believe that they are lucky. But that keeps them stuck in waiting, as we've already talked about. True power comes when you make this choice, you claim your new assumption, and you give thanks right away. You already feel grateful for receiving it before you see anything, before there's any movement. You thank God or the universe for the divine favor that is already surrounding you. You thank life for showing you, reflecting back to you that you are the luckiest person alive. You thank the universe for opportunities that are already on their way to you. This is not delusion. This is creation. Because when you give thanks for something before it appears, you are assuming it's already done. You are occupying the state of already having it. And from that state, it must manifest. Gratitude is magnetic. It doesn't beg, it claims. It says, thank you for this reality I am now experiencing, even when the 3D hasn't shifted and caught up yet. And in that moment, when you feel grateful, when you feel that gratitude, the energy of lack dissolves. It completely disappears. The energy of waiting disappears. You're no longer longing. You are literally in the state of already having it. So start today. Start right now. Wake up every day and say, thank you for showing me that I am the luckiest person alive. Thank you for the opportunities, the money, the people effortlessly flowing into my reality. Feel the gratitude. Let it sink in, because that feeling is the signal that it's already done, and that signal draws your desires into your reality. Everything comes down to your state of being. Your state of consciousness is the silent force that shapes everything around you. If you walk through life in a state of being unlucky, that is what you'll experience. Not because it's true, but because your reality is faithfully reflecting you. If you carry the state of being overlooked, forgotten, always missing out, life will confirm it. But when you shift your state, when you occupy the consciousness of being lucky, being favored, being blessed, everything changes. Not because you did more, but because you became different. You changed the inside first. The world responds to what you are, not what you want. So right now, decide, claim your state. I am the luckiest person in the world. Everything works out for me. I am divinely guided and favored in all things. Opportunities flow to me effortlessly. I am always in the right place at just the right time. Feel that, occupy that, live from that, and watch as your reality rearranges itself to match you. Most people will hear this and do nothing. They'll nod their head, I'm sure. They'll keep waiting for luck to find them. They'll keep complaining about their circumstances. They'll keep assuming they're unlucky, and they'll keep experiencing that. But you're not most people if you're watching this. You're here because you're ready to understand that you are the operant power of your reality, that your assumptions create your experience, that luck is not random, it's not given to the chosen few, it is a state of consciousness. If you're ready to fully embody this, if you want my help shifting your state permanently, doing the work so that you're not, efforting and trying hard, you make this your new state of being and you manifest from that place effortlessly. That is the work I do with my clients. If you want more information about my coaching program, there is a link down in the description below.